Oh, it's so difficult because I don't think anyone ever sets out to be an entrepreneur. I had a teaching background, so I had a very traditional school, university, then qualified as a teacher, but I was absolutely awful. So I was like Cameron Diaz in what was it, Bad Teacher, but not as hot. So it was never my vocation. And actually, I think when you have a job first, you realize what you do want to do and what you don't want to do. So I found my life being ruled by a bell as sort of, it just wasn't for me. So I felt that, I had to be certain places at certain times, and I just didn't like that. So I then left teaching and worked for a national charity doing training to try and get young people to experience risk. So I think I was always a bit of a risk taker. So I met Al on a very drunken night out, which is the other founder in the business, and went to work for his distribution business. They're selling other people's products to gyms and health clubs. And we realized very early on that actually we could do something ourselves, hence the starting of Grenade, and the sort of 15 years before that that led us to that point. Oh, everything: resilience, stubbornness, how to deal with things when it goes wrong, but just the fact that you have to do everything. And everyone always says, what's the one thing that you did in your business that made it so successful? And there just wasn't one thing. We had to do everything. But we weren't trained business people, so we didn't go to university to have a business degree or an MBA or anything like that. So everything that we did in Grenade, we learnt on the job. And there was definitely a case of winging it sometimes. And actually, I know it would be ChatGPT now, but, Googling how to do a barcode and how to do this and how to do that. So it was learning on the job, to be honest. So to be an entrepreneur, I think you need to be a good all-rounder. So you need to be stubborn, you need to be determined, you need to have a clear vision. It's all about following your gut feeling and having genuine belief in what you're doing. But also it's being able to do everything. So driving a forklift, looking at the numbers, looking at the branding, testing products. So it's about actually getting involved in every stage of that business and having your eyes on that. So I learned how to do graphic design. I learned to drive a forklift very, very badly. We learned about forecasts and P&L and spreadsheets and everything else. And it's about knowing every aspect of your business. Oh, it's really difficult because, from a corporate background and startups, they're very different. But I think it's about encouraging staff to actually, like you said, to be entrepreneurial. So if there's a process that's been done in a business and it's been done and it's been working perfectly well for 10, 15 years, that's great. But someone with that entrepreneurial mindset might look at it in a completely different way. So, for example, we employed at Grenade an FD who was from a very corporate background. So he actually worked for Bathroom World or Bathroom City. And we never got tired of taking the mickey out of him for selling toilets. But actually, he had a very different mindset and viewed things very differently from Al and I, who were very entrepreneurial. And he was a lot more, let's say, not practical or functional, but he was less emotional. Whereas us as founders were very emotional. We took everything very personally. So the two balanced each other out. So I'd encourage all businesses, if you've got people with that entrepreneurial mindset, to give them a problem to solve, because I guarantee they'll look at it in a very, very different way.